Time spent with your family is always precious, even more so if you have little of it. So how do you make the most of your family's time? Joining me to tell us is Rich Patterson, who is a children and family life specialist. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome, thank you.
So how do we make the most of family time?
Well, we don't have all that much, so I think what we have to do is find those times in the day that we already spend with our family and make the most of those.
So how do we break that down? Like,
Well,
what exactly should we do?
You've got meal time, of course, which is a time you're going to have anyway. You're going to eat together, and it's a wonderful time for just checking in and reminding yourself you're a family. There's a great Korean parable about heaven and hell that says in hell, everybody sits around these big long tables with all this wonderful food, but they have to eat it with 7-foot chopsticks. Arms aren't long enough, they can't do it. In heaven, same thing. Long tables, lots of food, but they're in heaven. What's the difference? They've learned the secret of feeding each other, you see, and that's what we do at mealtime. We feed each other. So even if you can get 3 or 4 nights a week, family mealtime.
Sit down, everybody together.
Yeah, and just be together and remember you're a family.
Okay.
Bedtime, real important for young children. You know how they love rituals. And going through that same ritual every night, the bath, maybe the book, maybe a little prayer, whatever you do, is a real security blanket for children. And it's real important to have that even 5 minutes with each child if you can, to remind them that they're special.
And you should do it with each child,
If
or
you can do
put
it,
them all together?
if you can do it separately with each child, because then that tells them they're important. They're not just one of the children.
Okay.
You know, family mealtime, bedtime,
What else? Something-
homework.
Okay.
No, everybody thinks, oh, this is terrible. It's a tug of war.
It's a must, yeah.
Yeah, but if you can make it a joint projects are what bind people together. You know, we're a team. We'll work this out. I'm not going to do your homework for you, but I'll help,
Gonna
and we'll
sit
be a
down
team. You know, those are the kind of things. Maybe even a little fun time for 15 minutes after dinner, before you go to the paper or you go to your desk or whatever. Doesn't have to be long, but those are the kind of little things that I think really make for building families, and most of them are things we're going to do anyway.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Sure, you're welcome.
And if you have any other questions about the topic or have a question for Rich, just log on to my website at parentologywithpaula.com.